Welcome, everybody. I'm Eva Yazhari, the CEO of Beyond Capital. I'm here with Sada and Ambika, co-founders of Freshr, a business that is changing and organizing the meat industry in India that Beyond Capital is very excited to have just invested in. Welcome.
Thank you, Eva.
Thank you so much for being here. So let's dive in and let everybody know a little bit more about what Freshr does. Can you tell us a little bit, Ambika, about the problem that Freshr is solving?
Sure. So we started working on this industry because both of us are meat lovers. But despite being so passionate about the product, we are not willing to stand for even 2 minutes in front of a butcher shop because the hygiene standards are so poor that even regular consumers are not willing to go there. So the primary problem that we are trying to solve in this industry, which is a $30 billion industry, but is completely disorganized, is to organize it and set hygiene, service, and product standards in the supply chain. So at the consumer end, the idea is how do we solve for these poor practices? How do we make sure that fragmented retailers, unorganized fishmongers manage to organize a little better? And at the farmer end, the farmers are also facing a big problem because they are not getting direct access to markets. They're also not getting regular and fair prices. And there are multiple intermediaries in the entire value chain. Because of these intermediaries, often wastages are anything between 25 to 40%. And in a poor country like India, that's food wasted, right? So those are the kind of post-farm management practices that we want to build, post-harvest practices, such that we're able to benefit farmers, solve for wastages in the value chain, and give consumers a hygienic and an assured experience while shopping for their produce.
Thank you so much. And as you know, at Beyond Capital, our goal is to improve the lives of people living under the poverty line through investment. And what I love about your company is the impact on smallholder farmers and micro entrepreneurs. So Sada, can you please tell us more about how Freshr impacts the lives of smallholder farmers and micro entrepreneurs?
The first, it is most important to highlight that the place where we are beginning this company is can be comparable to one of the worst performing in human development indicators. But we have started here with a goal to for a betterment of those people's lives. So as far as the small farmer concerned, it's a very general knowledge that it is difficult for small farmers to get an easy access to the market because the volume is very less. So primarily we are aggregating their products and giving them access in bulk to the market so that the price discovery is always at the transparency. The second part is the micro entrepreneurs. Now here again I would like to say whether we call it as small farmers or micro entrepreneurs, the better word is tribals. Both of them are tribals, mostly tribals, except the small urban area. For the micro entrepreneurs, those who are involved in retailing, now they have done remarkable job by our influence. Like they have understood the standards of maintaining those birds, standards of maintaining the sanitation, standards of hygiene. At least we could make an impact, or a few have them change themselves voluntarily. That is by our help and guidance. But the most important fact is I would like to highlight one example of a lady, tribal lady, who was having a very small holding above the hills. These are hardly arable lands. She was having a monthly earning of maximum 1,500, apart from the government rollouts, which are very regular. But by our intervention, she has doubled or at least 4 times, increased her income 4 times. And it is not primarily by the agriculture, but primarily by retailing the chicken which we supply there, the high quality chicken which could be maintained at those levels. So basically, I would say that yes, there is a lot of change in the lives of the micro entrepreneurs and the smallholder farmers, but still a lot far more to go. And we thank Beyond Capital for their support.
Yeah, and I think quadrupling somebody's income is quite substantial. So thank you so much for describing that. And it's definitely at the core of why we're excited to be your investor. Ambika, let's switch over to you. What is your long-term vision for this company? Where do you see it going, and what are you excited about in the future?
For the question, Eva, in the long term, considering the size of the problem that we've chosen to solve for, right? Like I said, $30 billion industry in just the 4 states that we are operating right now, and it's at worth anything between $5 to $7 billion. So what we are really looking at doing is to deploy technology and to enable the entire value chain from farmers to retailers in a way that we're able to solve for information asymmetries, we're able to solve for wastages, we're able to increase incomes and generate dignified livelihoods, right? And what we're also looking to do in that process is to build Freshr out as one of the largest companies as well as an ecosystem creator in whichever states or geographies that we happen to function. So over the next 5 years, we're looking forward to working with investors like Beyond Capital and others who are already on board, as well as those who come on in future, to help us achieve scale so that we can be a major player in this market, while also solving for the fundamental problems of the value chain and increasing incomes.
That sounds like a really good double bottom line return to me, the social and the financial at the same time. Sada, let's turn to you again. You operate in Odisha, and that's kind of where you started the company. I know you have more ambitious goals to expand geographically in India, but why don't you tell us about Odisha and why that location was really important to you in starting the company?
Fortunately, I was born here. So before moving out from this place for quite a long time, basically I am born and brought up and completed my education over here. So when I was outside, I was in charge of industrial inspections, their quality inspections for large industries and all. So there I saw a lot of people, migrant laborers who were from my state. And they were loved by those employers because they were quite diligent and obedient and workaholics. So I thought, why not get them back? Let me go back and get them back so that this migration problem, the pitiable condition in which they are staying, could be solved. I could do whatever I can within my capabilities. So that was the basic motivation when I started to come here. Apart from that, this is a particular kind of geography which actually needs socio-economic development. If I started at a metropolitan society which I was staying, I was comfortable at, then it needs definitely economic development, but the incremental change is not so huge. But if I start somewhere at a very low base, then I can feel satisfied that, yeah, we have done something better for the downtrodden, and that would be our satisfaction. And apart from that, this is one of the typically non-vegetarian eating state. So definitely the business is also good. People don't need to be explained about non-vegetarian concepts. So it just has to be given. So I think that's a thing. It's a double one. Doubly benefited to us.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So last question, let's just wrap up. Every business has its host of challenges. Maybe just highlight one for us or two, Ambika, that are the key challenges that you face so that everybody can connect with your business and really understand what it's like to be you.
Sure. And thank you for this question, because I think this is a good platform to highlight the challenge. There are two challenges, but they're actually interrelated. One is access to capital, and the other is the perception of these geographies as industry unfriendly or business unfriendly. And let me start with the second one first. So, we are often asked this question, that this is such a poor state, the per capita income is so low. Is there enough opportunity to do business? And when I start putting out the data, which is, it's a $5 billion market and 97% people are non-vegetarians. And then when investors and financiers come for their due diligence, that is when they see the potential of the market. But the general perception in the big cities and even outside of India is that these are very backward zones where per capita incomes are very low. So everyone questions the business viability. Luckily, we've been able to prove through our numbers that that is not really a question. The other related issue is access to capital, because a lot of traditional forms of capital, which is, let's say, bank capital, is not easily available in these areas, collateral free or whatever is the latest scheme that the government launches. It trickles down very late into these geographies. And even in terms of private capital access, private investors and global investors, it takes some time for me to sort of pitch to them and explain to them the potential of doing business in this place. Even to do a due diligence, it requires somebody to take a flight to the nearest town or city, which is 300 kilometers away, and then to take another mode of transport and come over here. So I think access to capital and the perception of the place as business unfriendly are challenges. The sort of ray of sunshine is that I think things are changing. More and more investors are looking outside the top 4 or 6 cities of India. Agriculture and agri-tech businesses are becoming exciting, and the fact that Beyond Capital has invested in us is a proof of that change. So I'm hoping for sort of better results in the future on that front. But yes, it's been a challenge.
I think it's extremely important that you've highlighted this. And one of our other portfolio company CEOs described these as the silent killers of social enterprises. So we need to get this word out there that access to capital and perception of the market should be changed. And hopefully we can help you do that. I want to wrap up by saying thank you to both of you. Thank you so much for your commitment to the social impact at large, as I know that your vision is great. And thank you for being a part of our portfolio. And we will make sure that everybody gets to see you both as much as we can on our YouTube channel. And thank you everybody for watching as well.
Thank you, Eva. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking.
Bye.